Guys, welcome back. So, in the Indian markets, we have primarily two exchanges, right? NSE and BSE. And both of them, publish information like lots and lots of reports on an end of day basis. And, you can utilize that data to analyze stuff or, create some applications with it or just, create your trading strategies. So this data is publicly available, it's freely available. There are ways to legally download it as well, but people just don't talk about it that much. People want, the first goal which I see from budding algo traders is key, how do I scrape the NSE website? To be honest, scraping the NSE website is completely illegal. You cannot do that without the permission of NSE, and NSE would not give you that permission because they sell their data to enterprise clients and everything. And the starting prices, I think so. I read it somewhere. It's like 35 lakhs just to get access to data. So it doesn't make sense. But they have this legal endpoints where you can download the data and you can store them, you can utilize them. You cannot just sell this data again, because reselling a publicly available data, I think so, is not allowed without their permission. But legal experts, please guide me if I'm wrong, because I just know this from reading or whatever knowledge I have. On Trade with Python, we have a series called NSE EOD stock prices, which is quite comprehensive. And to be honest, I spent a lot of my time creating this series for you guys during the early days of Trade with Python. This is a very comprehensive series which talks about how do you download the end of day stock prices, how do you combine whatever you have downloaded, then how do you adjust your stock price database for stock data symbol changes. Because let's say a company like Reliance, they have their symbol, let's say Reliance, RELINCE. What's stopping them to change it to, let's say, RELI? That's it. So to maintain continuity in your database, you need to make these changes from time and again whenever you get this updates from NSE. And how do you download the corporate action data for Indian stocks? I have talked about this. Was a very struggling piece because I've talked about how I explored multiple data sources and how it didn't work and what worked. So we'll cover that in a video as well. But yeah, if you want to read, go ahead and give it a read. Then how do you adjust your stock price database for calculating, like whenever you get a dividend, your price goes X dividend. Like the very famous example is, I think so, Majesco in December 2020. The stock price for Majesco was around 975 rupees, I think, and they announced a dividend of, let's say, 973 974 rupees. So what do you do with the stock price then? Like, the stock price can't be trading at 975 when the company is giving you 974 rupees directly. So you have to adjust your stock price for whatever dividends the companies are giving. And if you do your analysis on unadjusted data, you will get results which are not very accurate, because in real world these things happen and these things impact your stock price. If you're backtesting a strategy on that database, it's not going to work. It will give you results. It might give you good results, bad results, but in real life, your performance will be very far off from whatever you have backtested. Then the last article which we have written is, how do you clean for splits and bonuses? Reliance in its lifetime has split so many times, like 2 is to 1 or 1 is to 2 ratios all the time. So because I remember my father bought the stock when it was like 2000 rupees, and then it went to 1000 rupees. So that was, of course, because of the split, the quantity doubled. So how do you adjust for these factors? And these are really, really important things which I think so nobody in this industry talks about. Why adjusting them are important, how do you adjust them, then how do you analyze data on them. So in this new video series, I'll cover this each and every article that we have already written, and go through it again with you, and make you understand my perspective as to why did I go down this step, or why we could have taken another step. So let's start with the first piece, which is how to download the end of day stock prices for the National Stock Exchange of India using Python legally, not illegally, legally. Okay. So NSE has this file, end of day file called Bhavcopy. I'm pretty sure most of you who are trading in the Indian markets must have heard of it. What is Bhav? Bhav is price. What is copy? Copy is like a spreadsheet. You get your Bhav copy, right? So if I want to, let's say, see what's where do I get the Bhav copy from? I go to NSE India's website. Let me just, sorry, not this screen. I'll just close this and let me bring something up. Yeah. And if I go to market data, then I go to daily market reports. You get this multiple files here, right? So reports for 6th of August, you have so many files here which you can utilize in your unique way to create some strategies or backtest. I want to download the Bhavcopy. Now Bhavcopy has two, three entries here. So Bhavcopy file, full Bhavcopy and security deliverable data and SME Bhavcopy file. Let's just download the normal Bhavcopy, which is Bhavcopy file. It downloads in a zip based format. Show in folder. This is my downloads folder. I'll just open this one. And this is my file. I'll just put it out here. And let's just open it. We'll just talk about what stuff is contained in the Bhavcopy just so you get the idea. Uh, Pretty sure most of you already know it. So, I mean, you can skip if you want. But I'll just cover it for all my viewers and readers. So symbol is of course the trading symbol of that company at that given day. So this Bhav copy is for 6th of August 2021. So on 6th of August 2021, 20 microns was 20 microns. The series, there are different series like EQ, BE, GS. Each of them have their own meaning. So EQ is the normal one. BE is where you have to take delivery of the data, delivery not of the data, delivery of the stock. After you have got the delivery, only then you can trade it. GSS is something related to sovereign bonds, and you know there are different series, and all that information is available on NSE for you. Uh, then you have the open, high, low, close, the opening price of the stock, the highest it went for that trading day, the lowest, then the close, and then the last price. Uh, Sorry, give me a second. So the close is basically the average price of the last 30 minutes of the trading. The last is the actual last traded price. So, I mean, a lot of people get confused. Close and last should be equal, right? But the close is the 30 minutes average. Then the previous close, which is of 5th of August, if that was a trading day, if not, then before. The total trade quantity, whatever quantity was traded in the market, the total trade value of that quantity, timestamp, it's just column. Total trades 1528. So, a total of 1528 trades were done to come up to this quantity, and then the ISIN of the stock. So, if I have to get some perspective, uh, the average quantity traded was 67, shares of 20 microns, and I can do this analysis on all the stocks. Let's say you are working on a strategy where you want to reduce the slippage. You might use this average number, innovatively, where I put in orders with this particular average number, which might, fill in my orders at a more, better way. So you can use data as you want. Data is the oil. So yeah, that's Bhavcopy. Now let's see how did we download this Bhavcopy and what it means for us. So when I click on download, do you see this small on your left hand side? Actually, I can't show you, but left hand side you see the small pop up which says HTTPS archives NAC India content historical futures equities to 2021 August, and then the file name. Now what if I just copy this copy link address? This is the thing I was talking about. If I want to, let's say, download the file for 5th of August, what happens if I just change it from 6 to 5th and click enter? It downloads me the file for 5th of August. If I do this for, let's say, 4th of August, it downloads me the file for 4th of August. So this is like an endpoint which you can build your own Python bot which goes to this endpoint and downloads that zip file, unzips that file, and gives you that final CSV file which you can store somewhere in your machine. So this is how you do it legally. NSE has built this endpoint for us where you can come and download this data rather than deploying a robot which goes on NSE website, scrapes something, gives that back to us. No, that is illegal. Whereas you can use this endpoint, which is completely illegal because which is completely legal because NSE has just kept it there for us. So we will be using this endpoint to download the data. So for that, I'll be utilizing this library called Jugaad Data, which I might have utilized before in my videos. Oops, I need to confirm my account recovery settings. Yeah, okay, confirm. Okay, cool. So if I go to Jugaad Data, I like Jugaad Data because they have a very simple to use syntax. I don't know who owns this library, to be very honest with you, but yeah, if you are that one, good job, man. So to download, let's say the Bhavcopy data, you just need to, have three lines of code, which is from Jugaad Data NSE, import Bhavcopy save, then the date you want, and then the path to directory. So let's see this in action. I'll just open up my Anaconda prompt, activate my virtual environment, YouTube videos, and I'll install Jugaad Data first because I might not have it. I might have it. I don't know. Okay, so I already have it, and I'll do the development in Jupyter Notebook. Okay. Okay, so this is Jupyter Notebook. I'll go to desktop, then Python files, then let's just YouTube, and then let's create a new file, how copy. Okay. And let's follow the syntax mentioned here. So from bhavcopy.nse import bhavcopy.save. From jugaad, oops, jugaad underscore data dot nse import bhavcopy underscore save. Okay, so that worked. Now, if I want to download the file, I just need to use the command. So bhavcopy underscore save, and then the data I wanted in this format. So date, I need to actually import date time as well because let's see what happens actually. So date, I want to download for today was a trading day, right? So what's the format? So 2021 8 6. Today was 6th of August, right? And where do I want to save this? If I just mention dot, it will save that file in the directory I am at right now. So it should save in the, in the YouTube folder that we were in. So somewhere here, basically. So if I do that, okay, so date is not defined. So we need to define dates from date time, import date, save it. So it tells you the path where it's like downloaded now. And you see, we have a new file here seconds ago. CM06 August 2021 bow.csv. This is exactly the same file that we downloaded manually here in unzip. So Jugaad data does all of that for you. It goes to that NAC endpoint, gets that zip file, unzips it, and save it wherever you want it to save. If let's say I want to save this into a particular location, so I'll just import OS. OS helps you to define a path. So let's say I create a new folder here, and can I rename it from here? Rename, yeah. So I'll just say how copy data, and let's just go to this folder on our machine. It should be YouTube how copy data, and let me just copy this thing here, the path, and let me just paste it here. So if I want to convert that path into something that can be accepted by the Python, I'll just say data path is equals to OS, which is our operating system, dot path dot join, that join all this path that's there. So C, then separate that path using this, this is a separator. So os dot sep does that. Then users, then uh, Yash, and desktop, Python files, YouTube, and then Bhavcopy underscore data. Okay. Now, just to double check that I did not make any typo, I'll just say os.paths.exist. Does this path exist? Like, is there actually a folder with Bhavcopy data? If the answer is true, then great, you did good. If the answer is false, then maybe you made a typo somewhere. So let's just delete that. And let's say I want to save the data now in data path. Okay. I'll just do that again. And now it gives me the whole path where it saved that. So if I go to my folder, you'll see that file there, right? If I just open this file just to ensure that all the data was correctly downloaded. Oh, let me just close. Let me download the data for, let's say, 4th of August. And 4th of August is also here. And you have all the data here, right? And let's quickly check how much time does it take to do this. We'll do percentage time, and oops, that's already saved actually, because so this is also a good thing about Jugaad data. They have already cached this data. So if you have downloaded a particular day and if you call that data again, it will not make a new request to NSE. It will check, did we make this request before? If we did, then just, we don't need to do it again because that data is already there. So let's say if I do this for 3rd of August, it downloads that data, unzips it, and saves it in less than a second. It's 262 milliseconds, right? So that is awesome, I would say. We don't need to do anything. Jugaad data everything does everything for us. Now comes the question: if I want to download for, let's say, multiple dates, how do I do that? I mean, it's insane to give it a date like one by one and do it right. So how do I build a date range which can do this? Before that, let's try and run this for, let's say, 1st of August, which was a, what was it? It was a Sunday. So what does happen here? Now this is taking longer than usual, and it will give you a timeout error, connection error, HTTPS connection pool. Why did it do that? Because that link does not exist. Like if you, the link which we were talking about before, this particular copy link address, if I do this and just replace it here with 1, it will tell you we'll be right back. Go to homepage. Like it's a 404 error, which means the data is not found. So Jugaad data is not able to get you that. So probably you have a weekend. So when you are, let's say, downloading a data for a date range, and if there is a Saturday, a Sunday, or a trading holiday in that particular range, you cannot download that data. You will have to handle this error, right? Somehow. So we'll talk about that as well. Uh, and just to show you that this is the same link that we were talking about, Jugaad data is using that same link. Let's go to the official, code of Jugaad data. If I go to Jugaad data NSC, I think history, we are getting historical data. So you see, this is the NSE India website, referrer, blah, blah, blah. Let's see the function Bhavcopy underscore save. Okay, it's actually coming in from dot archives. So let's go back, go to dot archives and how copy underscore save. So look at that. So basically, this tells you that you need to, this is the FMT and this is the date time, and basically there should be a link somewhere. So look at this. So content, historical equities, and then the date, time, and then the file name. So let's look at this. So content, historical equities, then the year, then the month, and then the file name. So exactly the same thing. So basically, Bhavcopies, sorry, Jugaad data is doing that all in the background for us. So let's now try and develop a like a date range where we need to adjust for Saturdays and Sundays. We should not have Saturdays and Sundays in that date range, and we should not have any Indian trading holidays, right? So we can do this via pandas. So import pandas as PD. Let's just import it quickly. Done. Now let's create a new variable called date range. We can do this with something called as bdate range function by pandas. So pandas dot bdate range. Let me show you the official documentation as well. Bdate range. So pandas.bdate range returns a fixed frequency datetime index with business day as the default frequency. So that makes sense for us, right? Because we want only business days where business was being done, no Saturdays and Sundays. What parameters does it accept? The start, the end, the periods, the frequency, which is B for business days, then all the other stuff which we don't really need. We would need the holidays, which I'll talk about. So what frequencies can be accept? Default is B, business daily, but there should be other frequencies we can accept. Let me show you. So what will be our start and end? Hang on, sorry, I'm just checking something. Yeah. Yeah. So our start is basically, let's say we want to download the data from 1st of January 2021 till 6th of August 2021. So this is MMDDYYYY format. So MM is, let's say, 01/01/2021, and is 08/06/2021. And then now let's just run this and let's see what happens. So date range. Okay, no, so you have got multiple dates here. Now let's see NSE trading holidays. Okay. Ooh, economic times. Okay. So Republic Day, January 26th, which was a Tuesday, was a holiday. Let's see if that's present in this data set that we have. So how do I check that? So let's just use the first, 25 entries. So we have got 26th of January as a date range. So basically, if I, let's say, download the data for 26th of January right now here, 1, 26, what happens? It will give me that error. But my date range function, this B date range, it thinks it was a business day because it doesn't know it was a trading holiday in India, right? So how do I basically tell it that, skip this particular day? Uh, for that, Jugaad data again makes it easy for us. So they have this function. Actually, they store all the holidays on NAC in a variable. If you see this particular holidays.py, you'll see it's storing all the holidays, all the trading holidays from 1997 till 2021 right now, till the end of this year. So we can basically use this function. So I'll do jugaad data dot holidays uh, to import holidays function from it. So from jugaad data dot holidays, import holidays. Now, remember our video from packages and modules. So basically, Jugaad data is overall a package. Holidays is a module inside that package, and this holidays, which we see at the end of it, is a function. So what we are doing is from this package, go to this module holidays and import this function. That's what we are doing, nothing else. So I've imported that function right now, and let's say if I want to get the holidays of the uh, let's say in the full month of January 2021, it will have that particular thing for me. So holidays in 20 January 2021 was 26th of January. If I want to do that for April, it will have all the trading holidays for me. So 2nd of April was a holiday, was it? 2nd of April was a holiday, 14th of April and 21st of April, all of them were holidays. So you don't need to create your own variable and you don't need to rely on any other library. Jugaad data would already have that for you. So if I want to generate a date range which does not look, which actually incorporates these holidays, how do I do that? So basically I do uh, frequency. Now the default frequency, as you can see on the pandas documentation, is B, okay, which is business day. I want to create a custom frequency because I want to exclude this trading holidays. And next argument which I'm going to use is holidays. And basically, I'll call the function and I'll basically just mention it as if I do holidays 2021. it tells me all the holidays in that year. So I'll just do holidays is equals to holidays 2021. So it will have all the values. We are just concerned between 1st of January till 6th of August. So it will just take that data from this. Pandas function will already do that for you. So now if I look at my date range object, and let's look at the first 25 entries again. Oops. Now, if I look for 26th of January, that's gone. After 25th of January, that's 27th of January, right? So now you can be confident that whatever data, when you're running this in a loop to get the Bhav copies and save it there, this will work because it will not fail because you're not doing any Saturdays or Sundays or any trading holiday. Now, let's just name it. So date range is fine. If I want to, let's say, let's just date range 0. Now this is in the timestamp format. Now, as you can imagine, this particular thing, Jugaad data, the Bhavcopy save function needs it in this format. If I give this timestamp format, let's see what happens. So Bhavcopy underscore save date range 0, which is that timestamp which is mentioned there, and then save it in the data path there. Oh, it already saved that for us. So basically, we don't need to do anything. We can just give it that timestamp as well. I wasn't aware of that actually. I thought it needs to be converted in date object, but maybe there were some upgrades to this. So now this is very easy for us then, right? So for dates in date range, uh, how copy underscore save dates, save it for all the dates and then save it where in the data path. So if I just run that and go to my folder, you'll see files are slowly coming in here, which is awesome, right? Because when you don't have to do anything, you just ran 2 or 3 lines of code and it did that for you already. I think so. It's still running. It's a lot of data. So our this cell has completely run, which means all the files have been saved. Now let's look at how many files were there. So I think so there are 148 items here. Let's look at the length of our date range object. That's 148 as well. So we were able to download all the 148 files that we needed, right? And yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. And we broadly covered what's a Bhav copy and how the Jugaad data library is working in the back end. It's exactly doing what a human would do manually, but it's just doing that via Python programming. And we just created this code to go over and download all the data that we need after adjusting for custom holidays in India and also adjusting for the business date ranges. So yeah, in the next video basically we'll talk about how we have got this all these files, but how do you, let's say, take all of these files and convert that into just one file. So you open that one file and that's pretty much it. You have your whole database for how copies for a date range. How do you sort that database? How do you call that database? We'll not do database, like not an SQL database, but we'll do something called as Sparky files, which is a very good format, which we'll talk about in the next video. So I hope you enjoyed this video. This is really fun for me to do as well because it teaches me new things every time, like the date function right now, which we were talking about. So yeah, if you have any suggestions, please let me know in comments and please do subscribe. I'll be creating this videos over some time period, so if you can't wait, do read the blogs. They are all available there and they are much more detailed, I would say, than what I'm creating in the videos. It will give you every information that you need. All right, thank you so much for watching the video. Have a good day.